Ooh, my friends, stop lying. What would happen if you stopped lying? What would your world look like if you actually stopped lying? What would that be like? What would that look like in your life? Now, why is this so important? Why am I making this video about lies? Well, I decided to take a nice walk and get some air and record this because lying is probably one of the most detrimental things to our society. If you haven't noticed how rampant it is and how easy it is for all of us to do. I'm guilty of it, you're guilty of it, we're all guilty of it, we all do it so easily. But I think it's time that we stop. I think it's time we truly stop. Because if the world stopped lying and people started living more in truth, and by the way, for those of you out there who are going, the truth is all relative and it doesn't matter and everyone's perspective, yes, totally true. Totally true, actually. You can make and find a context to make almost anything true and a context that it's false in. That story, that content can be looked at as like, is the earth round or is it flat? And you can find a context where it is round and where it is flat. So I totally get that. But what I mean really is the expression of what we genuinely feel and genuinely think about something. That's the kind of truth that I mean, that I think and feel. And in fact, I'm just gonna say it straight out, I know would start to truly transform people, truly transform our world in the positive direction, because lying is everywhere. All of our politicians lie, all of our media lies, we lie. You know, think about it. You have all these categories of lies, and people do it every day in the little white lies. Oh, it's not harmful. When someone's like, hey, do you like my shirt? And you're like, oh yeah, it's great, love the shirt. Hey, do you love my pasta? And they're like, oh, that was the best pasta I ever ate. And meanwhile, you're like, I want to die from tasting that shit. Or this, your shirt is really kind of horrendous on you, bro. And honestly, dude, I meant to tell you, you're a little bit overweight, so that shirt just doesn't quite hit all the right markers. Or so on and so forth. And now we're taught, hey, you should just lie anyway, because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But honestly, is it really hurting someone's feelings to tell them what you really feel and think about a situation? Or is it doing worse? Because in a way, you're completely stopping your energetic patterns, your flow, and you're turning into a different identity. You're becoming, to me, an untrustworthy person. Because if you're willing to tell me a little white lie about my shirt, what else are you willing to tell me a lie about? So let's stop those. Just be honest with someone. Now you don't have to slay them or try to destroy their confidence. You can also speak about those subjects like, hey, my friend, like what's happening? Are you happy? Are you feeling like stressed out? Are you feeling like this is just not, like what's going on with your body? You seem like you've gained on a little weight. And I just want to say, from my perspective, you could probably wear something a little bit more flattering if that's what you're going for. Or if you like the skinny, real stretched out look, cool, go for it. Right? You can speak to someone from that place. And that could actually help somebody evolve or move forward. And again, I'm not stressing you have to walk around telling everybody, you suck, you're great, awesome. Again, there's nuance to it. But in general, just being open and honest. And if you can't say something directly to someone, at least acknowledging to yourself fully what you think, what you actually feel, instead of hiding it. So then you move on to the bigger lies, where you've got lies of omission. And this is the one that I think is so crazy because people, again, do it all the time. Hey, you want to come hang out with us? Oh, I really can't because, I've got this, I've been doing molecular research and combining molecular research with gene splicing over DNA. So I'm really caught up. I can't catch it. And meanwhile, you just want to watch Netflix. Okay, cool. So when I just say what's really going on or the truth, or someone asks you, hey, where were you? Like your girlfriend asks you or your boyfriend asks you, hey, what'd you do last night? And meanwhile, you were out hanging out, partying, you met some other dude or other girl, and you ended up having this whole deep spiritual conversation and connected and maybe smooched. But then they ask you what you did last night, and you're like, well, yeah, I just hung out with the boys or the girls, We talked to some people. It was kind of boring. The club sucked. We ate a little bit of food, and here I am. I came home. Leaving out this whole other part. And to me, this again creates a completely different identity because the real person did those things, and you create a false identity, a whole new person who didn't do those things, and then that person is talking to or encountering that human being. So how do you deal with that person? That's a falsehood. Just take the heat if you do something. And then we have the big blatant lies that our government typically engages in, that our politicians continue to do, and we just all eat it up and go, oh, I hate that politician, but he lies all the time, but I'll do nothing about it. So we just become just as guilty in the paradigm. So stop lying. See if you can experiment in your life. Because here's the thing. If you lie, if you don't tell the truth, especially lying to yourself about where you're actually at in your body, where you're actually at in a relationship, where you're actually at in your business, where you're actually at in your spiritual connection, it becomes almost impossible for you to determine what it is you genuinely feel, to decide what you want to do about the situation, where you want to go, where you want to create, what you want. Hey guys, what's going on? What you want to create, what you want to do, what you want to build. By the way, I just ran into some cool kids who got food for one day, and they were all saying what's up to me. But I'm gonna leave that in the video because I don't want to lie and cover it up and hide it. Oh, and re-edit the video because it wasn't perfect. So here's the deal. If you don't know how you genuinely feel or can't express what you feel and identify like what's actually going on, like what are the facts? I did this, that sucked. How do I feel about it? Well, I don't feel good about it. Oh, so what can I do to do something different? Because if you become clear about what you genuinely feel, can express that, then you can figure out what it is you actually want. And if you can figure out what it is you want, then you can actually build a goal and a process that can help you create a direction, a step-by-step pathway if you need to start to move in that direction, reverse engineer your goal, and then create the magical miracle of the life that you say you wanted. Now, before this video gets too long, I think you get the point. I think you catch my drift. I think you pick up what I'm laying down. Stop freaking lying. Start telling the truth. Experiment with it. And sometimes you might have to be brutal because someone's not willing to listen to you. Sometimes you might have to use a little bit more finesse in how you express something to someone. But I've found for me personally, the more I live and saying, I don't want to do that because I'd rather go do this, people begin to actually truly trust me and know that I'm not bullshitting them. And when I say something, they go like, oh, Aaron's real. Aaron is actually going to do that. Aaron is actually going to go about that process. And they can create a trust pattern. Because it's the worst situation to ever be in, is to lie to someone and then 6 months later, they find out you told them a completely different story or lied about something, because then that makes their mind go back. Because you've all been in this situation 100%. You have to go back and they start thinking, so if they lied about that, what else this whole time have they lied about? And you've just crushed trust, and that's not good in any situation. So stop freaking lying and apply that to these principles. Get clear on what you actually feel. These processes will help you do that. You can start to determine what you actually want, and then you can create the magic and the miracle of where you want to go and have the life of loving it all. Peace.